79 The Box. This is DJ Eric, one part of the Big Throw and Eric show. Right now you're tuned in to Tea with Monroe. Ooh. Sex, love, scandal, harassment. You get the tea right now. Tea with Monroe podcast. Officially to me.
Hey, it's Monroe Bishop.
And this is a Larry White.
And this is Tea with Monroe.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. I just want to do a quick reminder that until March 13th, we will be doing the podcast will release every other Monday and not every Monday as advertised on my thumbnails, which I'm greatly proud of. My new thumbnails that my new graphics actually that were designed by Tiana Elise. Shout out, Miss Tiana. Hey. Yeah, so I have an advertise that I release every Monday, which typically that was the case in 2017, but I'm still trying to refigure some stuff, change some stuff up, do some stuff differently. So right now we are recording, but we're releasing every other Monday versus every Monday. And when we hit our 1-year anniversary, it's a possibility that may change up. I'm still debating. But so far, I actually like this schedule. What about you, Larry?
I think it's cool.
Yeah, because you was like, yeah, that way you ain't got to be bothering me so much. You just rude. Whatever. Anyway, so that's that on that. And yeah. So I really want to, I got a whole lineup of things to talk about, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I want to give a shout out to Oprah Winfrey at the Golden Globes. I was really, really, really astounded. Not only by the fact that she won the award that she wanted, was long overdue, but her speech was everything. But let me back up. I don't watch award shows. I think they're too gaudy, too long. I just not into award shows anymore. So I kind of like wait till they're over with and just kind of watch the highlights. And I did go back and watch Oprah Winfrey's speech, and I tell you what, I wish I had watched the Golden Globes because, baby, it was everything. I loved it. I think it was so inspiring. It was so captivating. It's just so many words that I can use to describe this speech. It captivated everybody. It included everyone.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. What? Okay, so what's up? I'm sure you got an opinion. What's up?
He was talking to women. He didn't include everybody.
But it did include everybody.
It was Hollywood talking to Hollywood. That's who it was. It was Hollywood talking to Hollywood.
So you don't think it was based on the Me Too movement?
Hollywood, they lived in a 30-year cycle of female abuse. Even the women sat there and lived amongst it. And they, now that people starting to speak out, now they want to have a voice. They knew this all the way up until this year that was going on. And now...
You think the women knew about it too?
Yes,
well, let me back up. That sounded dumb. So do you think the women that were not abused knew about it?
Yes. The point of any industry, any industry knows about the do's and the don'ts and what goes on.
Right.
All right. So my thought is, it's a big thing now. Women are coming out saying this is what happened to me in all these different industries. My thought is, if Hollywood was one of the most indulged into that type of thing, they were like, it was like you want to become a movie star? You know what you got to do type of thing. So now they all knew about it. And
so it kind of sounds like victim blaming.
No, I'm not victim blaming. I'm saying that Oprah gave a speech. I think her speech was inspiring, and it was
Very.
it was, when I say inspiring, I don't mean to the common person. It was she wasn't talking to.
Yes, she was. I'm gonna tell you, at that particular event, all the celebrity women, they were wearing black in honor of the Me Too movement.
Okay, but they should have been wearing black 30 years ago.
Okay, and they had actual regular everyday people who have been victims of sexual abuse in the workplace.
Of course, that's a political move. Everybody does that when they're having a show or award or some type of speech. They
You just ain't giving them no.
I'm like this. I like Oprah. I like Oprah as an individual. I think she's a brilliant-minded woman she owns her own intellectual material.
Right.
Things that she does, she owns it.
Oprah's a beast.
She's a brilliant woman, and she has not let anybody get in her way.
Exactly.
But I can say at the same time that she can come along and, people can use you. Now, I'm not saying somebody's using Oprah. She may really feel and maybe think what she's thinking and what she's saying. But there's movements that are moved through individuals and incidents. This is an incident. There's a movement going on right now where women are saying that this has happened to me. I have been taken advantage of.
But you got to be honest with yourself, Larry. We have not had a voice. It's been a very long time since.
Women?
Yes, women have not had a voice. She went back in history to where it was black women.
It was kind of convoluted because it was a racial.
Well, she was
she
was progressing from the past to where it is now. That's what I got from it. That's why I said, because I put this in my Facebook group, because somebody, when that segment was put on Facebook, somebody in the comments said, somebody always got to bring race and politics into these speeches. And this lady was attacked. And I personally, when I said, let me listen to this. When I heard it, I didn't hear race, I didn't hear politics. But then again, I don't really think on that level like you all do. So it wasn't that for me.
But it was a race thing brought into it.
No.
She mentioned a woman that was brutally raped. Now, that's horrible with any woman. That happened to any woman. And these white men, that's what she was talking about, did not get prosecuted.
Right.
They did not get charged. But that happened also with people getting murdered back in that era. So it was a racial component there.
But I don't think the way she was telling or speaking about the situation was in reference to race. I think it was basically focusing in on the fact how women have been brutally.
That was about female women. That was a female black woman. That's what that was about.
She made it relatable. It was relatable. I mean. Well, it's again, Oprah, she was showing the history. She was building the foundation of the history of how all this started. And unfortunately, it started back then with black women.
If you want to go back to black women being oppressed or black women being racially unjust, you can go, if you want to just deal with black women, let's go all the way back to
she
slavery.
wasn't just dealing with black women. I'm just saying that's where it started, where women were being victimized and raped, and she was building on to where we are now with the Me Too movement, how women have always been.
I think you're not separating these things. What I'm saying is, you're right what she's saying about women. I'm not disagreeing with the issue of a person showing the history of anything. I'm saying that it was she kind of combined or either convoluted the story with she mentioned a black woman that just died that was sexually abused, but she made it almost like it was all women when it wasn't about all women. It was about a black woman that was dealt with a certain way.
I don't agree.
Based off of her race, I believe.
I don't.
More than it was about women, because I guarantee you, what she was saying, if there was a white woman that was done to, I'm saying it wasn't.
She was basically saying that Reese, I think her name was Reese, that she was raped all those years ago, but they were never persecuted.
If that was a white woman,
I don't think that was her point.
Well, then you saying she's speaking to all women? Then
she was talking about the progression of women being brutally attacked or sexually attacked or taken advantage of by men throughout history. I don't think, to me personally, I didn't feel as if she was identifying with just black, because right now, let's fast forward to right now, with everything that's going on, it's a lot of white women that were taken advantage of, they were assaulted.
No, they wasn't assaulted.
A lot of them were assaulted, and a lot of it was sexual harassment.
Harassment is what the issue is.
Some were assaulted, depending on who the person was.
Sexual harassment and sexual assault. That's what you got. So assault is when they put your hands on you.
Right.
Okay.
And some women.
So they got fondled. They got assault. That's physical evidence. That's physically attacked or whatever. You know that has happened. That some of them has been actually touched, fondled, raped, grabbed, whatever you want to say.
Now, where do you get politics now? So we dealt with the race thing. So the other comment was people always got to bring race and politics into these speeches.
Well, it was a political, because she did make key references toward the media being under attack, which is that is a component of what's happening with the president is fighting with.
She expressed her support of the media.
With the president is fighting against the media because of some of the way they're reporting stuff. When something happens, they don't report nothing good. They only report the negative of this particular president. And then it's the opposite end of the conservative channels. But most of the media channels, like 85% of most known media, ABC, NBC, all the networks, and most of the cable news networks are all leaned one way as far as a Democratic voting. Hold on, listen to my thought. The Democratic voting and is a leaning toward a liberal voting.
Okay, so I'm not
ideas of what they report, and it is a. And what I'm saying, it is, you asked me about the politics of it.
You're going into too much detail because she didn't mention any of that.
She don't have to mention. I'm telling you the history of it. I'm telling you what's going on with it.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. I'm asking you.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm asking you a question. Just listening to her speech. That's what you're trying to explain. You took all that from her speech.
Because if you keeping up with what's going on, yes.
Well, let me tell you something. In that few-minute speech that she made, and you got all of that from that, damn, Oprah, you're good. Because I didn't get any of that.
Because you know. Because you don't listen to this all day.
I know what's going on. I know Donald Trump fighting with the media. What the hell does that got to do with anything?
So what she's saying is she mentioned the media. She mentioned that freedom of press is under attack, which is not. If you're reporting lies, if you're reporting stuff that ain't true, I feel like freedom of press is under attack by the people that's reporting the lies and the untruth.
Well, honestly, in my opinion, the media has always reported what the hell they wanted to report.
Exactly.
Even before Donald Trump became in the office, they reported stuff the way they wanted us to view. They controlled the information.
I agree. But I remember, okay, let me just say this, and I'm just going to tell you from a personal experience. I remember when I had my office downtown, and there was a new homeless shelter that opened up across the street.
I remember that.
Called the Beacon.
I remember that.
And I was like, they were abusing their property. Basically, they let the homeless people just come and pee, sleep. They were sleeping out on our front of the building.
I remember that.
It was abuse of the area.
When you said which part was the abuse? Them sleeping out there, or
they were not controlling what was going on with the homeless people, waiting to come in and eat and waiting to whatever. It'd be the next day, they'd be out there all night. But basically, the surrounding businesses were being affected by that.
Right, I know. I was scared.
And they could not. They was not trying. They had no concern of trying to control
how it was affecting everybody in the area.
They had no concern. And the media. Okay, so they came out through the news camera. And they came to surround it. And I was coming out of my office, and I stepped out, and there was a camera. And so they asked me a question. And I told my honest opinion. I said, hey, We all want to help people, but we gotta. They have to have some responsibility of what's going on, and they need to try to. The people come out, they're sleeping on the street. They're sleeping in front of our door. When we come out, we come in the morning. We gotta clean up the area. We gotta move. Ask people to move so we can get in the building. We got, it was peas smelling.
It was horrible.
There was boogling right there by the doors.
Yeah, I remember.
Sneaking in the building, breaking in the buildings and everything. And I basically said, they need to have a better control. They had a gate around their property. Like they said,
they kept them out onto the street.
They had them on the street and waiting to get into the gate. And once they get in the gate, they feed them, then they let them out, and then when they close it, so they had no control. So my point is, I sat there and I said, I gave a whole spiel of what can be done to help the situation.
Right.
Well, the media, they already had their story written.
Right.
Let me explain what I mean. They already had their narrative.
I know they just extracted a piece of what you said so they could remit their narrative.
And they met their narrative. And I said, what did they just make me? They made me look like I was an old mean black brother that was just attacking the homeless and talk. And I said, what did they just do to me?
Right.
And one of the people in the building said, that's why I don't talk to the media.
Right.
Because they know what they want. Everybody has agenda. They have an agenda in the media. People, the producers, they're trying to produce something. Mm-hmm. They already know what they want to write. When they go report on the story, it could be an auto accident. They're talking about the street, the 290. If they don't like what's going on with 290, they're going to report that accident and lead it up to the construction of how they taking so long with 290 if that's the case. The point I'm making is they already know what they want to say. They already know what they want to do. They already have an agenda. They already have a push, a movement, or whatever. And it don't be one individual most of the times. It be a whole network. And if you go against that and it's not politically correct, going with the politics of what they want you to go with, you're going to lose your job most of the time. You're going to get fired, or you're going to get fined, or you're going to get blasted by a bunch of people. Perfect example. Remember when Wendy Williams had made a comment about Donald Trump, how she liked Donald Trump or whatever it was, because she knew him personally?
Right.
She got attacked. Steve Harvey. They attacked him. I mean, he just met with the dude. He knew the dude. The dude said, come talk to me. So if you talk to him, you're helping him. But that's how people took it. It's the way they narrate them. And half of the thing that's so funny about this, half of the country liked the man. I'm just gonna talk about Donald Trump. Half of the country liked the man, other half don't. Half that don't controls the media. The media is one of the great mouths of put it like this. Wall Street is a great gateway. So
right.
Media is a gateway into society. You got the media, you got a media in Hollywood, you got Wall Street, you got oil and gas, you got certain gateways that really, if you get into them, the money is and the power is. Okay? There's gateways of power. And in the media,
we can do an
one
entire podcast on the media, and we're going to schedule that on a later date, honey.
Well, let me just say this. So when I hear Oprah Winfrey, when I hear her,
bring it back for me. Bring it back.
When I hear her say something, and I know what's going on in the political realm, and she's referencing. That's why a lot of people say it sounds like a speech, like she's getting ready, and she may be thinking about it. She may be thinking about it.
And that's what I want to talk about, but we're out of time now.
No, we're not out of time. Let's get with it.
Because the thing that, again, I just want to go back briefly, because for me personally, and you're right, I don't sit and listen to politics all day, day in and day out, so I'm not going to psychoanalyze everybody's speeches who have a voice out here in the community. I just thought it was so heartfelt, such a powerful speech.
I agree.
I thought it spoke to everybody, and I didn't specifically.
But it was politics in it. So
and it probably was. It probably was. But let's focus on the fact that she was actually.
That's how this works.
But the thing about it is, if we just change our minds just for one moment and to think about the real issue at hand, which is the women, the victims that have suffered behind the hands of these men, whoever these men are. And I think if you focused on that, and that resonated with you in that moment, that's what you would have stuck with. I mean,
if she wouldn't have brought, if that was the case, what you're saying, I would agree with. If she did not bring in politics and race, she did bring in.
But you choose.
I don't have no problem with her bringing in race. I don't have a problem with her bringing it into politics because she was the first black woman
I just feel like
to get that award.
Right.
So she has a reason to bring in race. I don't have a problem with her bringing it into politics because that's a political view and it ties into it. But when somebody say it and state the obvious, they should not get attacked for it. It is what it is. And if you don't agree with her politics, then that's basically what that.
I just think we're always reaching and pulling and finding a reason to discredit somebody. Even if that was her agenda, what? It was such a good speech.
I agree.
And it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't attacking. Even if she was talking to the media, she never said not one derogatory thing about the media. Only thing she said was she support, and she's the media.
She is.
Of course, I would support the media because she is the freaking media.
She's a big, powerful. She's probably one of the most powerful.
And I don't think she abused her power at all. I haven't experienced that.
I like Oprah, even if I don't agree with everything. Excuse me. Even if I don't agree with everything, you gotta respect her and you gotta like Oprah.
Yes,
because,
I love Oprah.
Because Oprah is
Call me girl.
and she's a very educated woman.
Yes,
And
yes.
and not only that.
Speaking of educated, you think she could be the next president? 2020?
I think, I'm gonna just be honest with you. This is my opinion. And this is only an opinion. I'm gonna preface it. And
yes, it's a yes or no question.
I think Oprah could actually run and have a chance of winning. The only thing I would think that would hold her up and hold back is that Barack Obama was president for 8 years.
Right.
And I believe a lot of white people were turned off, not because he was a black president, because they voted for him.
Right.
I believe they were turned off because of the politics, because his politics did not really benefit neither black or white. It didn't benefit. He was a transformational president. He was trying to change things that
And you think that hurt him?
I think it hurt him because he was trying to change things that he felt should be changed. He was, instead of like trying to make and if you know government, you got to depend on how you look at government. Mm-hmm. He looked at government as the way you change people's lives, the way you change through government. A lot of people, the philosophy on the other people are, you change it by getting government out of people's lives, by letting people have freedom to grow their business, to do different things. Barack Obama looked at it as your fair share. You should share more of your wealth, or share more of your. So
you think Oprah will have that same thought process, methodology?
It depends on. I don't know what her, but I know if she.
She was a big supporter of Barack Obama.
But then she probably would have that same viewpoint. Is that Oprah Winfrey has a control of most of her money and
she
most
does,
of her
and that's
media.
what I don't understand, how the wealthy, because they want to be, even though they are free-hearted and giving, they want to control who they give their money to.
Right.
They don't just
But
randomly.
they have a lot of tax. Okay.
But again, regardless of the tax, where the taxes save them from whatever.
Right.
Still, they control where they send their money. So
Right.
if what you're saying is true about Barack wanting to basically redistribute wealth, if I'm wealthy like that, I would have a problem. I don't mind giving and sharing, but I want to be able to share.
Well, you got to think about it. They have benefits to it too. So, if you you pay taxes, your money goes there. Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, let's just say this about wealth. There's a difference between an individual building a business or corporation and making millions of dollars, because he has employees, he pay people, so he don't get all his millions. His company may make millions of dollars, but he may be a millionaire. He may have millions, but look at that same person. Look at a different person, like an individual, like a movie star or an actor or a athlete. They get paid millions without having to have the employee and the staffing and everything and all of that. So it's a difference when you're hard-earned money versus being an individual getting paid a wage or a salary.
Okay.
And making millions.
Gotcha.
So when you have a company and a corporation, you have expenses and you have to have ways of keeping money. Like when I do my taxes,
Tax write-off.
I have to have some write-offs because my money has went into things, and so I can be doing the business, but I won't be making any money, even though it shows I'm making money, but I'm spending money. So I need to have write-offs, things that I can get back some of my money through
Other ways,
not
right.
paying taxes with it, or either, getting a refund back on some of it. So when you look at it like that, so Oprah is she has a corporation, she has a staff, she has employees, but she made millions being an employee before she
I agree.
became
a self-made.
Yeah. She started owning her own business, her own corporation,
owning her.
Right,
She owns Oprah Winfrey.
Right. Mm-hmm. So my point that I'm making is that will she have the same philosophy? I don't know, but you got to think about she's probably not going to look at it from a business perspective more than a black perspective. Black people vote black issues. We don't vote based off of which person going to do the best for the economy, which person going to do that. That's not really how we really, really vote. We vote more based off of what issues, like black issues, that's going on out there. Because when we looking at some of the issues that affect us, to me personally, some of this stuff we can fix ourselves if we actually try to fix the issues ourselves. There's some things we can't blame the white man or whatever. Like we can't really. Some issues we can fix ourselves, but I don't know, like violence and different things like that. I think we can do a lot to change all of that, curb a lot of that. But
I think Oprah would be a damn good president. Only thing I'm fearful of, it would change her in a way. In turn, because we think, when you're a president, like even when Barack was president, that's a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. I mean, even though this a handsome man, he aged faster than the average black man. You know what I'm saying?
But if you was Oprah, excuse my voice. If you was Oprah, would you want to? Because when you're president,
I wouldn't even want it. Because even Michelle, because everybody wanted Michelle Obama to run it. She was like, "Oh no!"
But
she saw what it did.
What they have to do?
It's
she's
stressful.
a billionaire. She's a billionaire. So was Donald Trump. Do you know that Donald Trump has the benefit. He has kids. He has children that he can actually just
delegate,
give it over and delegate. It's theirs now. When you're president, you actually got to cut any profit making.
And Oprah can afford to do that.
Yeah, she probably can't, but would you want to? You mean
she got Gayle King, she got Stephen in her corner. She can do that. I mean, I don't know if she would want to. If her position on the way she see things going here in the country, if it outweighs that, I'm pretty sure she would. I can't say that I would want her to. I would definitely vote for her, but I just think it'll make her a different person. I think. At this stage of her life, I just want her.
I'm voting on people on politics. Only what they tell me that they believe and whatever. Mm-hmm. That's the only way I'm gonna vote for anybody. I'm not voting for the person because of their color or their.
I can't say I don't vote. I haven't voted for color, but
yeah.
Speaking of color, H&M.
Mm-hmm.
H&M released a advertisement of their. Well, I don't even know what the collection is called, but they actually. It's a cute clothing collection for kids. Right. It's based on the jungle, but they put the little black boy in the shirt that says, "I'm the happiest monkey in the jungle." And he's standing so proud and so strong and firm. And of course, when I say we, I am speaking for all black people, even though all black people don't necessarily have a position or aren't that sensitive. I'm just saying we as a whole, or as a I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Basically, we had an issue with it, with him wearing the shirt saying, "I am the happiest," because it gave the connotation of him.
It's an old, almost a cliche that they try to associate us with monkeys. They call us monkeys. That's some of the names they used to call us. A little
porch monkey.
Yeah, different things like that. Well,
said that we would act like monkeys.
To me, it's a PR nightmare, PR mistake where somebody did not read the shirt, obviously.
The coolest monkey in the jungle.
Right.
And the little white boy has on mangrove jungle survival expert. And it has a tiger on the front. Now the shirt that the little black boy has on does not have an animal. It just has the phrase on there.
I think that we read race into a lot of stuff.
We do.
But I think it's put it like this. Let me say this. Let's think about it like this. It's not a race thing, but it's a religious thing. If this was a Muslim community and it was something that was offensive to them,
Right.
there would be an immediate outlash the same way as blacks. But people get upset when black people complain about issues that offend them when they shouldn't. I'm going to just say this. We were one of the people that were harmed. I don't think there's a greater...
Race of people?
No. I don't know. Let me finish my thought. I don't think we was there was a greater harm to any group of people.
Right.
Jews try to say they had genocide, where they had millions of Jews killed. We had the same thing, and we were slaved. We had our own genocide when they took us from other lands.
So
they
are we
killed
actually
millions of us.
competing which genocide was the worst?
Well, no, I'm just saying that, man, what I mean is...
All of it's horrible.
I mean, it was all horrible, but nowadays people get upset when black people do complain about
They still make everything about
offended.
race.
Yeah.
You know what I will say about that is I think we really need to be careful when we
need to selectively...
We need to be selective. We need to pick certain battles because when you pick...
Because that don't seem like it was I don't think there was an intention. Only way that could be an intentional thing is if you show history of it being, or that person that did the advertising or the marketing.
And I'm pretty sure his parents approve. His parents are black.
Right.
So his parents approve.
So I would, not just the kid parents, but I'm just talking about the person that did the marketing or the advertising has a history or some type of known.
But you don't have to have history like with the Dove, the controversy with Dove soap or whatever. I can't remember.
I don't know that one.
Yes, we talked about it. Oh my gosh. Let me look for this one up. Dove soap did the same thing. It was sort of like let me look it up before I say something wrong. But again, for them, they was like, wait a minute, that's not what but nobody took the time to have somebody come in, because we have to be sensitive to certain things. I'm not saying that it's right, but it's a lot of racial tension for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's a lot of racial tension.
So I think you need to be sensitive to stuff, and I think when the person who put
I
this
think
marketing,
we're a little too sensitive on everything, but I think that you should not dismiss people's concerns.
Okay. Remember the Dove soap incident where the black girl took off the shirt.
Oh yeah.
And she was white, and then I guess they was just advertising this. I don't know what their motives were, to be honest with you. I mean, I like Dove soap. I've always, because it's good. I like it for my skin because I have sensitive skin. And I was like, wait a minute now.
I think sometimes people read into things a little more than what it is. Like that with the little boy, I don't think that anybody, I think it was just a PR,
nightmare.
PR nightmare, PR mistake where you're not trying to market, you're not trying to insult anybody. It just came out that way.
You're just trying to sell sweatshirts to the kids. Because honestly, it's not, they have a lot of jungle themed clothing lines out there. I think because...
And the person, just because a person, it may have been a black person that did that. What if it was a black person that set the shirt up and did everything, didn't think into it, like you call this?
But
made this kid
again,
like a monkey,
because it's such
a
racial, it's such a sensitive thing right now. I think companies really should have, not just for black people, just for all things. I mean, everybody is so sensitive.
No, that's the problem. That's what's wrong.
I know. But honestly, as a business person, you got to be careful.
I'm not telling you to dismiss it, but I'm saying that the problem is it's too much politically correct stuff going on. You can't do nothing nowadays. You can't even say nothing. You can't even say or have an opinion that differs from a group collective. People try to say, or you on a plantation, or you look at the way people deal with me because I'm not groupthink. I don't groupthink.
I ain't even much gonna lie. When I was young, and that was not too long ago, I would get upset when people would mention watermelon or fried chicken or Kool-Aid to me because I felt like they was trying to be funny. Because I didn't ask about no green bean casserole. I didn't ask about
if they're trying to be funny and say that to you, then it should be offensive.
But
if
honestly,
you're offended by
I didn't know if they were. I took it that way because certain things.
Come on now.
I'm serious.
What was the content of the conversation?
Well, it was so many years ago. It was when I first moved to Texas. But we was having a potluck, and she made the comment, about bringing watermelon and fried chicken to. She asked me, was I bringing it? I'm like, bitch, why I gotta bring the fried chicken and watermelon? Why you can't bring it?
Yeah, she was trying to be
offensive.
funny. She was.
But honestly, let me say this. Now that I look back on it, just knowing her, now I got offense and I did report.
Nah,
I report
she ain't
her.
that dumb. She ain't that stupid. That was an offensive call because you never said nothing about watermelon and chicken. And she brought it to you that she was trying to be.
And actually, I was gonna bring a rotisserie chicken from HEB, but I'm telling you, when she said that, I wanted to fight because I'm just like, bitch.
I can understand that because. Don't nobody come up to you and say nothing like that. Now,
well, we were getting the potluck menu together. I'm just telling you the context of everything. Now,
was that on the menu?
Well, you could bring anything you want.
Well, why would she come to you about fried chicken and watermelon?
Because they make that connection with fried chicken and watermelon and collard greens with black people. In actuality, I see everybody. I just saw somebody who was Hispanic buying a watermelon today. So everybody eat watermelon.
That's not a good scenario. No, don't. No.
But what I'm saying is, why do they make it?
Watermelon too.
Why they making a black thing like watermelon indicative? We're the poster child for watermelon. That's some bullcrap.
Yeah, that was one of the fruits that we grew, that we knew how to grow. We ate watermelon.
Oh, no.
They don't have water. I don't even know watermelon grows over in Africa. I have no idea. I truly don't know. I'm pretty sure it does. That was everybody know the story of that. But the point is,
because I grew up in Perry, Florida, and I do remember a semblance of history that I've been told from my grandparents and my mother and stuff, that the watermelon man who came through was a black guy. He had the water. For whatever reason, watermelon was the fruit that you sold in the black community. I don't know if it was affordable. I don't know the history behind it. But I don't understand why.
We paid for some watermelon.
And we sat on the porch and we ate our watermelon.
But look, we weren't the only ones that ate watermelon.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a country thing.
That's what I'm saying. So why do you, and then fried chicken?
When you in the South and it's hot, and you had a good watermelon,
ice cold watermelon.
Well, if you can cool it, because everybody didn't have refrigerators back in the day.
But it didn't have to be cool if it was sweet.
Right. So it was a Southern thing.
Right.
And you got to remember where most of the black population lived was in the South.
Right.
Until they migrated north. So, yeah, it was a Southern thing. And it was white people that ate watermelon just as well. And they ate fried chicken. Where you think Mr. Turner come from? He come from Kentucky, right?
Is he white or black, though? I can't tell.
He was Cajun.
He was Cajun?
Cajun, yes. It was a Cajun white man. Uh-huh. And they had that accent. He stopped like he was black.
So he was Cajun. It wasn't necessarily the chicken.
I don't even know if he was black. He probably had a little brown in him.
Probably. And it probably wasn't necessarily the fried chicken or the actual recipe of seasoning the chicken which made him who he was. Is the Creole?
He stole that. I'm just kidding. He stole that recipe, took it from them people. And he made money out of it.
That's the case.
Hey, but I may be telling the truth.
Popeyes did too. They
Louisiana.
Yeah. So
all of the fried chicken come from Louisiana and Kentucky.
Now, is it the actual chicken or is the recipe that gives the chicken the flavor is the issue?
With Popeyes, it's the chicken.
I don't know, but that's a Cajun.
Yeah, but
the Cajun philosophy.
Wait, no. Actually,
it's Creole.
Actually, I saw something on the guy that franchised Popeyes, and he wasn't black, but he liked this. He tried different business. I just saw it on somewhere. it may have been Facebook or something. I forgot where, but he liked a particular place called Popeye's Chicken out of Louisiana, and he ended up franchising it, buying it and franchising it. He liked the flavor or like their way of cooking it or something like that. But Kentucky Fried Chicken, now it was his season. He had a certain way he fried it and seasoned it, and it was just good. I still love original. I love original.
Oh, wait a minute here. Look, I done found actual Popeye cartoon with him eating the fried. Now I'm offended.
Look up the owner of Popeyes.
I don't know who the owner is, but is it this guy, this white guy here?
Yes. Yeah, you read the story
Al
on
Copeland?
Yes, you read the story on that guy. And
But where did he get this recipe from?
He franchised. It was somebody that had a restaurant.
Was it a black
it
owner?
It probably was. I have no idea. I don't remember. I just remember reading it. But either way it go, that was interesting. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that
Ooh,
somebody,
Jesus,
I think some people, because I mean, this is the way I feel about when people come up to me and they make these little racial jokes. I make racial jokes myself. I killed my buddy Kong and stuff like that. We always went to high school together and we kind of work around each other. I killed with him about race stuff all the time. He's a Vietnamese, and we always joking.
He joke about black people.
Yes, but I know. It's like we're friends. We actually are friends. I know him.
You know, it's not coming from a vindictive place.
It's not coming from a mean, evil, and I can do that with him.
Right.
And we may make these little high-level jokes or funny jokes, and we kind of laugh at each other. But it ain't like for everybody else. It's for me and him. And so, but I understand.
He call you the N-word?
Oh heck, no, he don't do that. No, he ain't dealt with that.
I
no, but hold on, the point I'm making. If somebody come to me that I really don't know, or even if I know them, but we don't have that kind of relationship, and you come at me telling me a black joke, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I don't play.
I think that if you come at me, you tell me about this little black joke, I almost feel like it's a.
You trying to test? You test.
To me, it's a racial thing. Because if you're joking about this to me like this,
it's like something you always wanted to say and get off your chest.
Right. Because I'm not gonna go into a white person and make it a white joke or whatever. Me and my buddy, we talk, we laugh, and we can say that we don't just do that all the time, but we can.
Like when y'all playing words with friends and
right, we acting crazy and stuff like that. We can do that. But my point is, I don't sit there and
make it a point to be racially.
I'm not gonna go up to white people and start, because there's black people that go and actually dislike black people. They make jokes with white people about black people.
Yeah, I know somebody like that. I know somebody. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I know somebody like that.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's cute because there's some real issues going on in our community.
It is some real issues, and I don't want to get too far deep into this, but I mean, I have a variety of friends: Hispanic, white, Asian, whatever. Right. Now, what I do if I don't understand something about your culture, I will ask, and I will say, if I'm offensive, please let me know because I'm trying to learn. Because I don't want to, because I have a tendency to just to say whatever that comes to my mouth and out my tongue and through my lips. So, but when I have friends, I don't play race. I don't play games. I don't put myself in a position where I'm gonna ask you something.
No, I don't have no problem.
I'm just not doing that, even with friends. I will ask questions, but I'm not going to make jokes and do anything like that because it can easily go wrong. Yeah. And I'm too old, and I will win me or fight you. I just don't. I don't have time. Win me or fight you. Yeah. You didn't win me a fight when you was a kid. Boys did win me a fight.
I knew how to fight.
Oh, I mean, I did hear that you can't fight when you windmill fight, but here some windmill fights they whip your behind.
I seen some windmill fighting, boy. I seen the dude
tear somebody behind with that windmill fight, that one long pinky fingernail.
Yeah, he was he had a little sugar in him, but he was getting picked on because of that.
And he probably whooped the bully.
He beat the bully up, fought him like a girl, and he whooped that bully butt.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? But
We all over all kinds of time, y'all. But you know, I like these conversations, and I'm just gonna keep this thing going. And I really, initially when I started this particular episode, Tamar Braxton was resonating with me because, you know, she's going through her thing with Vince. She just recently attacked who she think he's having an affair with, who he has got impregnated.
Right.
You know, he ended up going to jail on Christmas for whatever reason. And now because she's trying to, I guess she says, to protect her son in all this love and war going on, she has removed herself from social media. But during the season of Tamar, I just want to keep this on a relationship type, but not just because it's Tamar and Vince, but just relationship wise. When they were going, did you watch the season of Tamar and Vince?
No, I don't.
They
I watch when I go into bed and you got it on, I don't have no choice. But
they actually went through the progression of how they got to the point where she filed for divorce. Right. And I just thought, and what stood out for me most was, I don't want to get into her personality because I know how you feel about her, but she has these friends that she's hanging around. And I think one of them is two gay guys. It's one. Oh, I don't want to butcher their names. I really like both of them. I think one is named James, one is named EJ, or that may be one and the same person. I don't know. Right. But they are her friends, and she has brought them along on her journey with Tamar and Vince. Right. And they were in every single episode. And I was really distracted by them. I'm not saying that they aren't good friends. I'm not saying you shouldn't bring your friends around, but the fact that they were there during such a tumultuous time in her relationship, it was very distracting for me. And a part of it made me feel as if she was avoiding dealing with her relationship, or that's the way the show made it seem. I don't know. So I guess my question is, when you're outgrowing relationships or you in a place where you're wanting to work things out, when you surround yourself with people who are not married, or who, and I don't want to say anything because them being gay I don't think has anything to do with it, but they are single, and they gave her a lot of advice, and she brought them along with her on expensive, extravagant trips. When in Vince's perspective was, I wanted to be along with my wife and my son, have some quality time. So of course he was resting bitch face the whole time during the season, because every time I turned, it was more her friends, and it's like they fed her through the show, and it kind of bothered me. So I guess I want to talk about when you're in a relationship and you're trying to you say you want to work things out. Mm-hmm. What do these friends play a role in this when they're not married, they're single, or if they're in a bad relationship themselves and they're feeding you stuff? Right.
I think anytime you take advice, I give people advice all the time. Anytime you take advice from anybody, you should know where the advice is coming from. Like if you, let's just say you're talking to somebody that really don't know you, and you're kind of like getting an opinion. This person can be telling you advice from a worldly perspective and from a perspective of a religious. Don't matter. It doesn't matter which religion. They just say he's telling you from where they're coming from is what I'm trying to get at. So then there's also different factors, like this person married, single, or is this person what kind of you can listen to a person's language, and you can tell that that person is like bitter or have a bad perspective, but you still want to hear the perspective. And I don't have a problem with listening to anybody's perspective. Somebody may be like, oh, nah, if somebody did me like that, oh, F that. They go to cuss and they start talking real negative. Yeah, I do this and I do that and that. And when I start hearing something like that, I want to hear what they got to say so I can do the exact opposite of what they talking about. That's how I deal with it. Or I can take what they're saying, know how I'm feeling, but know that I don't need to do anything and make any kind of implementations, because the person got to be trying to show me that they really care about me before they give me any information. Somebody got to tell me something like, listen, this is just my opinion, my perspective, but if this person is doing it, then you probably need to do this and you probably need to do that. They're really trying to help me. Now,
are they helping you if they're agreeing with everything you're saying?
That's what you're saying. It sounds like Tamar want yes minions around her. Right. Yes men.
And that's how I felt.
So if that's the case, and if that's the way it's being if that's the way it's being perceived, or the way they're pushing it on the show, that may be part of the show, but it sounds like she's having yes men, and if they're always around her, you got to think about this. You're a fan, I'm your fan. I can't really be your friend.
You don't think so?
If I'm your fan and I'm around you because I love something you do, I am your fan. How can I really be a friend to you if I'm your fan? Because a fan wants to get close to you and be near you and stay connected to you because they love you for what you do or what you represent. I can't be your fan and your friend. So if I'm your friend, I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you may not ever want me to, or you may want me to just listen, I'm the type of friend, don't ask me nothing or don't tell me nothing.
Don't ask him nothing.
Because I can't it's hard for me not to give you an opinion. Now, if my friend, you make it plain, plain and clear to me, excuse me, cut my word sharp. But if you make it plain and clear to me, I ain't going to listen to your opinion. I just need you to listen to me.
Right.
I just need to vent. If you give me an opinion, I ain't listening to it. Don't talk to me about it.
Just hear me vent.
Just hear me. I'm going to listen to you.
But if they're coming for advice, you keeping it real.
If you come to me and ask me a question, and you may not like what I tell you, because it may be hard, because it's my opinion and my perspective is coming from a particular place. And I'm going to tell you where I'm coming from and why I'm coming from that. Because I'm not going to tell you something that's going to hurt you. And what may be good for me may not be good for you. A person usually don't tell the full story of something when they're talking to somebody.
Well,
they're telling their perspective.
They're telling their perspective, their side of the story. They're trying to sway you.
And they don't even get it all in.
Right, and they're trying to really sway you to their position, what they're going through in the situation.
I know the guys you're talking about. One of them guys used to be
one of them sang that Patti LaBelle song.
Patti LaBelle. He got a record contract.
Oh, James Wright and TJ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So and I watch him, and
he's a wonderful. I love him actually.
He seemed like he may be a good. I guess if you.
I don't know because every time him and Tamar was talking, and then when he did his green screen comments. Now that what they did do, the two guys, they did say, they felt awkward because it was clearly tension in the relationship. But anytime Tamar talked about an issue, they sided with Tamar. Why Vince acting like that? He needs to do something different.
That's why I say that
fans can't be.
Is she okay? He's a E-list celebrity. They did the. And she's I think Tamar would probably be
I think Tamar's a B. I think she's
B-list, maybe a B plus.
Maybe.
Yeah, because she's known.
I love Tamar. She's not an A in my book, girl.
She's not a movie star or nothing like that, but
when it comes to music, I don't know if they have.
Yeah, she's not
lists?
there yet. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
She's not a Michael Jackson or a
Beyonce.
Or nothing like that. She's up there though. She's not a somebody that had a one hit. Yeah, I don't think. Well, even if she did, she's also a reality TV celebrity. So she kind of got a B plus,
right?
A minus maybe. But so you got somebody that's kind of, trying to use something. Who's gonna be your stepping stone? Is Tamar gonna be your stepping stone or Vince? Because it sounds like he's gonna decide on whichever side gonna be a stepping stone for his career. And he's gonna.
But how do you do? I mean, I'm not a celebrity and I don't have fans. But how do you? I guess it has to be hard being in a position as a celebrity because you don't know who is truly a fan and who is truly a friend. And I just think for me personally, as a let's just keep it general at our level. if we're going through something difficult and challenging in our marital relationship, or even if we just go together, let's just say, let's just keep it general on both. Well, but the thing about it is, you kind of want to, when you're trying to work on a relationship, to bring it back together, you don't want, I don't care whether you're married or not, you don't want friends around you, this is just my opinion, who have a voice bigger than the person that you're trying to reconcile with. You know what I'm saying? You're taking they feeding you, but they feeding you what you want to hear. You kind of want to put boundaries around that kind of stuff. And I didn't perceive it to be that way. I think they fed her.
I think if I'm okay, I have to respect my buddy Deshaun. Yeah, if there was any kind of thing where he is negative with me in a way where, let's just say, he's never done that, no matter what relationship I've been in, he never said, man, get away from her, ever leave her. He's like,
oh, he ain't say that about me.
No. He always tell you, well, man, that's, if you're married, he gonna tell you, well, that's your wife and da-da-da, but, if it's his situation, it's gonna be totally different. He's gonna speak how he feel on his situation.
Right.
But if it's somebody else's situation, he's gonna say, well, that's your marriage and da-da-da, and I'm the same way. If it's your marriage, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. I might tell you how I may feel or respond to them, but I'm gonna say, that's me. You know more about your relationship than I do. I'm not gonna go, if anybody give me advice and they are giving me something to tell me to destroy my marriage. Now, if I'm sitting there telling him, well, man, my wife done slept with 9 people, I done counted, and she steal all the money.
I got proof, I got pictures.
Yeah, and if I'm telling, he'll be like, man, what's wrong with you? That ain't good for nobody. If you getting abused, that's abuse.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they ain't got enough to even try to hide it from me. They doing all this. Even if they did do all of that, that's a great leap. Ooh, I don't know what that was. You, your head there.
Ooh, I got a big head.
if they had if that happens and they done all that, and that's abuse. But if you want to stay with your spouse, ain't nobody can say nothing to you. Nobody should sit there and try to take you away from that.
I just think for me personally, just watching the episode progress, of course, because I am a Tamar fan, I kind of lean towards her from a woman perspective because some of the things that she was saying.
But I just get on my nerve a little bit.
Just
I'm
hush.
sorry.
But I just don't mess with that. You're gonna make too much noise. I think, but from a position of if I was a friend to her, and I would tell her, you need to cut some of these people out of your life, out of this part of your life, because I just think they were way too involved at her level for this type of information to go. I mean, I would loved to see one of her sisters there. I mean, she did bring in Tiny, Tamika Harris, T.I.'s wife. She did bring her in for a moment, but I would have loved to see her have a good girlfriend that she has history with along this journey with her versus EJ and James Wright. Not to say they're not good people, because they probably are. I don't know. I didn't think this was a good fit, and it didn't do anything to help her in her relationship or in terms of her character, because people really judged Tamar hard. I mean, when all this stuff came out, they was actually blaming her until it was shown that Vince ain't all cherries and whipped cream. He's a piece of work. You know what I'm saying? And even though during the show she was basically telling him, I'm growing up, I'm not the same little girl you married, let me be an adult.
See, that sounds like she was growing away from him, apart from him. And I think without the affair and all that, I think that just needs to be a rekindling of their relationship.
But they couldn't rekindle because EJ and James was all on the beach with them. They was all at the house. I mean, they was everywhere. Vince couldn't get a word in.
Now, you got to also remember some of this may be the show.
True. to keep
But this sounds like this really is a big issue going on out there.
It
so
is. This is
sound
my
like
life. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they did good by airing this stuff, and I know she did the best she could with what she had.
Right.
I do think that the network used it as an opportunity to get a whole lot of viewership, which I'm pretty sure put a whole lot of money in their pocket. But some things it ain't worth it. It's some things you just ain't worth it. And that part of your life, especially if you have children involved.
Right. Well, I believe that this was it looked like it was something really going on because you get the backstory that's going on, and the show recorded 6 months earlier, and there's things that done come out and it's coming out on social media. You know, the world of media now is instant with the social media. So I think that she was not trying. The reason the friends were there was intentional to run interference from trying to rekindle. Whenever you do that, you were trying not to, like you said earlier, she didn't want to deal with it. Mm-hmm. That's why the friends were there. That's like, even if it was the girlfriends,
right?
You always going with your girlfriends and you trying to say your husband like, or your girl be like, hey, come on, can we have some time together or whatever? And you be like, nah, I'm going with such. And you're not really trying to spend time with them because you don't want to rekindle.
Okay, let me tell you this little story here. Once upon a time, it was a girl named Tiffany, and her first marriage, which was basically
Everybody know you talking about that. Come on.
I know you're talking. I'm talking about me. I'm just talking. Look, I'm talking in third person. Okay, so I'm just saying it was a girl named Tiffany, and she was married for that first marriage and everything, and it was basically a marriage of escape. I wanted to escape from where I was living. I wanted to escape from my last name because it just brought bad energy in my mind. I wanted to escape to a better life. You know, he was a military guy. I just wanted to escape. I liked him, but I did not love him. And I think he felt the same way. And I think we was kind of like in the moment because we met running from the club. It was a shootout at the club, and we was running from the club, and we was running at the same speed. I should have known if he was running the same speed I was. He had tendencies. No. I'm just saying he was a wait a minute, he was a thickums, okay? I didn't find that out till later, but he was a little thickums, but that didn't deter me. He was a nice guy.
I'm about to say.
So,
okay.
He went off because he was in the military.
Right.
We got hitched at the courthouse real quick after we met. And he went off somewhere, and I was gonna go meet him later, but it was a little long time span between that happened. So when we reconnected, I wasn't dating or seeing anybody, but my mind was out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I was young, and so when we reconnected, I was like, ooh, this ain't what I want. And so guess what I did? And Taja, my BFF from back then, may remember I used her to run interference. He wanted to work things out. He did. And I think it's because of his family background. He had a mother and father who was very strong in the community, strong in the church. They believed in family, working together. I mean, but then when I found out later that his paychecks were going to his mother, and his mother was paying the bills, and then when I finally met her, she was like, well, I expect you, when you get paid, I need you to have this money to go to this bank account here, and I will make sure you guys, this stuff is taken.
I want to tell you something.
Bitch, what?
That may not have been something I would have did, but for a lot of people, that may, if she has y'all best interest.
But see, I don't know that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like an attorney. When you get an attorney, you can use the same attorney, but only one of y'all, the attorney,
they're
going
gonna
to
look out for. Exactly.
So,
that was his mama.
And if he say do this and do that, he can. That's.
And I'm looking at him mama, like, you finna sit her and let her talk to me like this? You finna sit her and let her try to get me to sign my check? I need you to step up and be I need you to straighten your mama out. No. He got all wimpy. My mama. Well,
let me say this. honestly, you wasn't wrong, but at the same time, it's how you present it. I'm not fixing to.
I wasn't no
give my
pistol
check
like
over.
I am now, but I was a beginner pistol stages. I was like, I had people feeding me information, and so because
you was a firecracker. You wasn't a pistol? No, you was a BB gun. No, what
it was a little BB gun.
You was a BB gun.
I was a little short shooter. I wasn't no sharp shooter. I was just in the making. So, I used to bring my girl. I was like, if he try to go off somewhere and we want to take me to don't let him take. You say, hey, girl, I was having her run interference.
Yeah.
Even when we went to go stay at his mama house to have the family events, I would take her and I would have her sleep in the room with us so he wouldn't touch me.
We call that cock blocking. But that's
what Tamar did. And so now that you say that, I see it now because I did use my girlfriend.
That's what happened. I had it done to me back in the day.
And then finally when she said, I'm tired, I like traveling, and I'm glad you got me on everything, but I want to go home. You need to figure out what you need to do. So at some point I had to let it go and actually be a grown person, be a grown woman, and deal with the situation. And we did realize it wasn't because his mama wasn't budging.
They wouldn't separate. If he would have separated from his mother, you would have dealt with that.
I think we probably would have a semblance of a better chance. But again,
so was it an abandonment? Well, so who abandoned who on this situation?
I will say in the end, he helped me get an apartment because I had gave up my apartment because I was getting ready to go travel and be with him. I forgot where we was going to be stationed at. I can't remember. And I had my oldest son at the time. So I was preparing to travel. And so he helped me get an apartment. He said, I paid for this long, but after that, you on your own, boo-boo. And, yeah.
Well, he wasn't too bad.
So, but again, I told y'all a piece of my little business just to say that's what kind of resonated when you brought that to light. Because I didn't really think about her cock blocking Vince, trying to keep from.
She want to find a reason. She's trying to use whatever leverage that she has right now, whatever's going on before the affair, to have a reason to separate herself.
Right.
To try and be angry. Some people want to be, I'm feeling some sort of way, so she's worried about talking about her feelings.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
I get it. So just real quick, we are definitely off schedule, but this is some good conversation. I could do this all night, even though I have not eaten dinner. We can't do it all night?
No, we can't.
Okay, just real quick. I don't want to get into no specific details because I want to talk about my girl Cardi B later. I love Cardi, but I do have an opinion about her situation with her and Offset.
Let's make it short then.
You know what? No, because as a woman, just the way she's responding to the fans and trying to defend her reasoning for staying, I definitely want to discuss further. So we'll do that next episode. But
we can do it right quick. We can get it in. Come on. Let's discuss.
Okay, first of all, I was going to talk about Amber Rose. These girls, like Amber Rose, she's with 21 Savage. She bought him a $50,000 carat promise ring as a gift. Okay. Cardi B bought Offset a Rolls Royce and a Wrath watch. Now, I don't know what a Wrath watch is, but I know what a Rolls Royce is. Rolls Royce. That she bought him for his birthday. And Amber Rose and Cardi B are not, what I want to say, they haven't been in the game a very long time. Amber Rose started in the dance club. And then I want to be careful because I think she got her notoriety. She got with Kanye West. Not to say he made her, but that's how she got noticed. And then she started and she used what she earned to build businesses and become Amber Rose and become the millionaire that she is. Right. Cardi B, she started with her mixtapes.
No, she started stripping.
Oh, that's right. She was a dancer. Then she started doing mixtapes. And then she got on Love and Hip Hop. And then she got a good hit, Bodak Yellow, and she blew up. And I don't understand. Not to say you can't buy your man a good gift, because I'm pretty sure those guys are ravishing them with wonderful gifts. I have a heart. Cardi B just started doing her thing. It hasn't even been a full year. And she bought this man a Rolls Royce. And then to add insult to injury, because I have a problem with them buying these gifts from these men so soon in these because Amber Rose bought that gift really early for 21 Savage. I have an issue with that. But let me get back to Cardi B. I love her. And insult to injury, it's been coming out that he has been cheating on her on several occasions. And I think the first time, okay, I forgive you. You know, let's move on. But it's coming out now that he has cheated. Several other, I think somebody hacked his cloud. Now, I don't understand the cloud thing and how his personal information got in the cloud.
Yeah,
and why
you
he's
have cloud.
But why you can't erase it?
You have cloud. It's your
I do have cloud, but I have nothing in there that I wouldn't care if you saw. So what is in the damn cloud? Why wouldn't you empty the cloud out? Why wouldn't you let it
it's supposed to be
rain?
private. But anyway, go ahead.
Well,
But let me say this. You go ahead and tell me what.
okay, so Cardi B is staying. She has this. He's cheated. It's come out that he's cheated with several other women, and one of them may be possibly pregnant. He has actually put a cease and desist on somebody, saying they lying, and of course he's trying to do damage control to prove to her that some of these women are lying on him. And so basically, she has decided to stay with him and support him. You know what? I can't even get to the darn freaking article.
Okay, well, let me just. Go ahead.
So let me just paraphrase real quick. So I guess her fans were coming at Offset. Now I'm paraphrasing, so don't come at me, y'all. Cardi B, because she my girl too. But I saw a tweet where she tweeted saying basically she's processing like she should, because this is her life, her livelihood. It's her fiance. It's not a boy. It's a fiance.
Right.
She's processing, and she will make a decision what best for her when that time comes. But whatever she decides, just know that I ain't young.
Right.
I can't necessarily get anybody else at this point, or if I do, they just gonna be the same thing. He's gonna be a cheater. So at this phase of my life, I don't feel like starting over. I'm just gonna put up what I'm putting up with, and because anybody else I get gonna cheat too. So basically, if she decides to stay, she's prefacing this to say she can't get nothing better. So to me, she's saying she does not deserve to be treated better.
Okay, let me say, I believe that she is processing because people go through this. Average person go through things like this, and they stay with the person, and that person cheeks all over them and do different things like that. The thing is, it's an embarrassment. You just all of a sudden leave. She doesn't want to just make a move, and then it'd be even more embarrassing getting back with the person,
right?
After you all emotionally tied into it. So it's more about publicly being embarrassed right now than anything. I honestly think that Cardi B may care about that. I mean, I don't know.
She loves him.
Right. Okay. So
because he cheated on her right before he proposed to her in October.
So she probably have an expectation from these guys that she's always dated, and because she's a certain type of woman, and I'm gonna just be real with you, she has a hood twang to her.
What does that mean? Hood twang?
Well, that was my way of being nice, but she has a little. She's ghetto in a lot of ways. She has a hood. No, come on, let's be real with it. She has a little. And she got a little bit of that.
She has a personality. That's not necessarily ghetto.
Nah. Yeah, she got a little good ghetto in there. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but she has a different thought process. Her thought process is, this is what everybody does, right. And all the dudes that I've ever dealt with, because you got to think of where she comes from. She comes from a hardness. She's real. They always tell me how real she is, how hard she is. She's a hard person. So to her,
I don't think she's hard. When you say hard, you mean like a fighter type?
Just like she's been in the streets. She done came up. She done seen from the bottom dudes all the way up to rich dudes.
All the more reason to have more value in everything that you've accomplished and say, you know what?
But look, you got to think about it. She's with a super mega star rapper. She's coming up as a super mega star rapper.
He didn't make her though.
She still has not seen that she's at his right now. She's at his equal. She don't see it. He got hits after hits after hits. She got 1 or 2 hits. She has not put enough stock. She's not like what happened to her.
She don't need him for that.
She doesn't need him for that, but her relationship, when you get with somebody you idolize or you
never thought that you can get.
Right. You got with somebody, or you did get with them. That's kind of how the guys are. They're a celebrity. So you kind of dealt with this before, because I'm pretty sure he's not the first celebrity she's been with. You understand? Mm-hmm. But to the caliber, to the quality, I'm not sure.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it.
Okay.
I guess she's responding to one of her fans. She says, well, if people are talking about it, keep asking me how I feel about the situation. Why not let them know? Right or wrong? No, it's not for a nigga to cheat. But what you want me to do? Go fuck me another nigga? NIKKA.
Right.
Start all over again and get cheated on again? This shit happens to everyone, and I be too. You too. People handle their relationship differently.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would, if I was her friend,
she's accepting the fact that he's cheated.
All right. If I was her friend, I would tell her my opinion as a friend, but I would also tell her if that's what you want in your life, I understand it. But I would tell her, I gotta remember she's not married to him, so I'm gonna have a different opinion, a different
So if they was married, what would you tell her?
That's their marriage. So whatever she decides to do, I would tell her what I think of marriage and what should happen with that. But if she's not married, I've always had the perspective, you're not married, you do have walking papers. You got an opportunity to be out right now. You're not combining nothing. You're not adding. When you're married, you're actually combining everything. You becoming this one individual, one unit. You going into a contract. You going into business together. Everything is together. So if you catch somebody that you can get out of it thing, and you see something, a bad pattern or bad behavior, just because you think that the next guy is going to do the same thing, that's, to me, you're not married. Think about this before you stay in something long-term, waste your time.
I just think a friend once told me a long time ago, because she, at that point in her life, was with somebody who didn't value her. And she told me, a piece of man is better than no man at all. And that has stayed with me for years. And I've actually started writing a book around it at some point. It fell off my book wagon. And I just never could understand the thought process. And to me, when I saw her tweet, it reminded me of that. And it's like, do we think so low of ourselves as women that we will be willing to accept anybody treating us any type of way just to be in a relationship with them, just because they are a hit rapper who got millions and millions and millions of hits out there, because they can buy me whatever or do whatever? That's not what, as a woman, you should strive for. Everybody, men or a man or a woman, should strive to be in a relationship that's healthy, that's honest, that's real. Now, if you are okay with being in those type of relationships and those type of relationships that you okay with, that's one thing. But just by the way she's speaking out, she's not okay with this. She's not okay. And I feel bad for her, because she has to struggle.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. And she has to struggle publicly with this.
She has to process this in public. People
she does.
process.
Yeah.
You do, but then you also got, when you're processing, you got somebody in your ear. You got the person that has harmed you, that have hurt you in your ear. You got your close friends and family around you. And now you got to deal with the public coming at you. It's a tough thing. It is
tough, and I think her fans want better for her. Because here's my thing. Like you say, she done pulled herself up from the grunge by the bootstraps and got where she is, where people that are in high positions like Bruno Mars and Nicki Minaj, people are collaborating with her. I mean, she's collaborating with so many people with so much notoriety, but this part of your life here, you feel like you're not good enough. And I feel bad for her. I really do. And I'm never gonna tell anybody whether they're a fiance or a girlfriend, boyfriend, or married. Girl, you better leave. I'm not gonna say that because I can't say what I would put up with if I was with Offset, but I just wish that she would really take some time and soul search and think about this before marrying him, because this is if this thing is progressing now and more women are coming out the woodworks, this is not going to get any better when they get married. He has to want to make a change, and clearly he does not, because if as a man, listen, okay, forget your moral compass to some extent. Just listen to work on your ego. Right. As a man, you got a beautiful woman who's sexy, who's famous, who's popular, and she's willing to accept you in all your flaws and whatever you do to her as a man, and she put that in writing. What does that say to you as a man? What are you thinking? Man, I got this bitch. I got her. I mean, she ain't going nowhere. I can do what I want to do. As a man, is that how y'all think? Or do you even have a conscience to say, I need to do better?
If I'm dating
if you engage, you ask this woman to marry you.
Right. And you saying if I'm getting with
her, you a hoe, you messing around.
I'm the one messing around.
And you saw that she wrote in public on Twitter says me, look, all men cheat. I'm gonna figure this out, but right now I'm standing by my man, basically. And you see this, you gonna think, well, dang, I can do whatever.
I'm gonna think that in the long run, I'm actually testing with a man. A man's testing what he can do with a woman. What's my boundaries to some degree? So some women don't care about that, a man cheating, and if he feel like he can get away with it, he'll do it again.
True.
And same thing with women. Sometimes, like we ever hear about, I had somebody tell me that you can't be a nice guy with a woman, because women actually will run over. Yeah, I've had a woman.
We're gonna do a podcast on that.
I had a woman tell me this. You can't be nice.
Bullshit. We're gonna have a podcast on that, because that's some
a nice
BS.
woman. He said, my man. She said, my man. If I ever did something, he thought I would do something, he the kind of dude that I think he put some steel on my butt if he actually. But so that keep me in line. I actually had a woman say, now I'm not saying that's right, but she's saying that she don't even want to go there with that, because
definitely as a woman, it will put in my brain that
I don't need to play with that, and that's
I ain't gonna play with it.
And when guys do that to a woman, that's intentional. Same thing with a woman.
Can we do it to you?
Yeah, you can make that woman. I ain't really do nothing. You can't do that. People have done that, but my point is,
I think that's Gucci Mane and Keisha Cole. I think that's their relationship. I think both of them have put that. I wish you would.
Right. You gonna feel something.
Yes.
So I don't really know them that well, but I get what you're saying.
Right.
So yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's real talk. So
I just want to say, just to women in general, I'm not judging Cardi. This is her life, this is her experience, this is her journey, and she has to figure it out. And I definitely wish her all the happiness in the world. But definitely, just know your queen. Just know your queen inside you, and that you have the right. It is your choice to pick and choose. You're in the position to teach people how to treat you. And if you allow people to treat you any kind of way, they will treat you any kind of way. And with that, we're out, because we don't have any time for anonymous tea. Dang it. Anyway, so thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for listening to the podcast. I definitely appreciate your support. You can reach out to me on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Instagram, YouTube. And also, if you want to be a part of the podcast, if you have any stories, any questions, you want our advice, because we give that good advice, go ahead and email me at teawithmonroe@gmail.com, and we will air your question anonymously in the anonymous tea category, in the section, the anonymous tea, what do I want to call? Anyway, we will talk about your email and give our best advice. And there you have it. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher Radio. And I think Spotify. I need to check that out. Anyway, love you until the following Monday. We're out. That just sounded crazy, didn't it?
Bye.
Bye.